Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 75. We are 3/4 of the way to the century, which is really good. I'm super pleased I made it this far. I'm not sure how far I thought I was going to go with this when I first started. Really, it was just a way to keep myself accountable with my training, and more so I could just verbally articulate what's going through my head when I'm training, whether that's, actual terminology for, strength and conditioning, talking about strength, hypertrophy, power training, vertical jet, anything that's related to arch training. It was initially for that. But now it's just kind of evolved into like a daily journal where I'm just talking about whatever's on my mind. And then, if that coincides with the training, then that coincides with the training. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, I'm just really pleased with how well it's going so far. The channel's doing well. Gain a few subscribers every day. But at the end of the day, it wasn't really about subscribers to begin with. It was more about just documenting my journey. Obviously, the more subscribers you get, the more people that will see this. And then, there's a larger portion of people that see it, then potentially there's a larger portion of people that will be inspired to pursue athleticism or to pursue physical training. Because fundamentally, I think that the direction that the Western world is going in and the way that the world is going in, the more and more convenient and comfortable our lives get, the sad reality is the softer and weaker we become. Modern lifestyles, the way that we are, and the way that humanity is sort of steering itself towards more and more convenience and less physical activity as a necessity in daily life. Now remember guys, physical activity used to be a necessity in everyone's daily lives. People used to be walking around all day, they used to be working, they were on their feet, and they may have been working in different positions. They may have had to crawl, they may have had to climb, they may have had to lift heavy things, move heavy things, push things and pull things. Things that just aren't the part of everyday people's lives. And I see it all the time, all too often in my gym. People that come in, they live sedentary lives, they're not very active, and they're coming looking to improve their activity levels, mostly for aesthetic reasons, but I think it goes beyond that. I think it's much more than aesthetics. And I'm going to sound like a really massive hypocrite when you see the end of this video, but I think that training is and should be about a little bit more than just aesthetics, trying to look a certain way or trying to have a certain level of body fat percentage or have a certain amount of muscle mass on your body. I think that those are obviously great things and they are worthwhile things to be sort of having as a step along the road, but they shouldn't be the end all and the be all of your training. I think they should just be byproducts of trying to pursue something else. The reason I have the physique that I do, I by no means have a fantastic physique. There's obviously bodybuilders who train day in, day out to look like that and to look fantastic and aesthetic. But the reason I have, I would say an above average aesthetic physique, a low body fat percentage, and I'm strong, stronger than the average person, and I have decent amount of muscle tone. You can see my abs. It's because I train athletically. I train to be like an athlete, and obviously I eat pretty darn healthy diet, eating 80 to 90% whole foods plant-based diet. But I think it's a combination of those two factors is the reason I look the way I do and I perform the way that I do as well. I'm not trying to say that I perform like one of the best athletes in the world, because that's just not true. I'm definitely a very average athlete, probably below average by most people's standards. But I definitely, compared to the average population, do perform pretty well. I look pretty good. And I think that is as a result of not pursuing those things neurotically, trying to be obsessed with those things and obsessing over looking a certain way. I get it because I train for something else as a byproduct. And I'm not trying to say that if you just train for aesthetics, that's a bad thing and you're a bad person, because you're not. If anything, you're really good. You're doing a fantastic job because you're still doing something physically active with your body in order to look a certain way. It's the people that are physically inactive and then they suffer from very serious health conditions like osteoporosis, like degenerative muscular disorders, for example, and also certain types of obesity, certain types of cancers. Heart disease is obviously the biggest killer in the West. It's people that suffer and then go and die like that from a completely preventable cause, just by living more how humans were supposed to live. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this channel, is trying to inspire people to go and pursue things by doing cool stuff with my body, and hopefully inspiring people to go and do cool stuff with their body too. Those are just some thoughts going through my mind, 75 days in. Maybe I'll have a completely different purpose for this channel at day 175, 275, 375, if it goes for that long. I'm sure it will. I'm just going to keep on uploading every day. I'm in a really good routine and rhythm with how I do these workouts, and I just know that I'm going to get them recorded and done no matter what, regardless of the situations and the circumstances. I've done it through all kinds of situations: snowing, raining, cold weather, warm weather. Well, we haven't quite had the warm weather yet, seeing as we're still quite early spring, but I've done it through a whole bunch of situations, and I know that I've got the commitment and dedication to keep going. So hopefully you guys can join me along for that journey as well. So yeah, pretty good workout today. Got a really quick upper body workout in and thoroughly enjoyed this workout. Felt like I performed quite well in it. It's always the workouts with the time limits when I perform the best, when I've got to get the workout in really quickly because I've got a time constraint to go and finish. So really good stuff. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And of course, as usual, you can never waste a pump from an upper body in. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.